Okay, so I have briefly looked at some mapping for Lily and Jack. Okay, I had it as a route trip, so I had it as like here where you put the location, then you add trip, and then I don't know what I did. I closed like this and I lost it all. So then I went to my search history, and I think I've got most of them here, and then I just put save to want to go so that I can do this. I hope I'm not just deleted them either. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and go through them. They're all not, it's not all of them in specific, because for example, if I show you Marshdale, this one I've tried to delete, failed to remove Marshdale. So some of it, we're just going to go through it together. And then after this recording, what I'm actually going to do is delete it all and go back and look at it. But it's very draining when you do something and then you lose the things. So this is where they actually live. So let's zoom in. I know I'm not showing screen, but I think it's clear. The camera's right in front of me. You should be able to hear me. And so this is where they actually live. It's that there, right? That. So they've not got any neighbors, because one question I was going to say is there's definitely a neighbor. So that knows something. So I think that must be the grandparent, right? I don't know how does this work, by the way? Do they just put the trailer park van there and then they rent the land that the van is on, or do they own this land? How is it, this kind of stuff? Because obviously if you own all this land, you must be a bit rich, but obviously they're not. Right, bear with me because I'm not a mapper. Okay, so I need to go back. You're all probably screaming at me right now. I need to go back to I want to go back to my places that I wanted to go. So here we go, right? This is it. This is where they are. I'm instantly drawn to this area. Now, when I look back to this area, which is very close, by the way, I think it's like 1 and 1 mile and 2. I look at it today as I'm like, okay, I need to record this. And it's actually not looking exactly the same, but I'm going to show you what I mean. So if I click on this, okay, it's 1480 Gurlich Road, and this one is 1813 Gurlich Road. Now, if I zoom in, I just want to show you what I'm instantly drawn to, which looks a bit different. So this is where they live, and this is what I'm drawn to. I'm drawn to the less, I'm not drawn in the dense areas of woods. And I was thinking, this doesn't seem right. Is it because it's too dense? I've not meditated. Now all psychics meditate and they do several versions of stuff. I have not. And I find it really irritating that I lost the places I noted. And I think this was the particular places, these two, there's where they live. I felt like these particular places, like this, it was like a big one. When I first saw it, it was like a big one and then 2 small ones. So I don't know if there's a bigger one down here, but that's what I'm instantly drawn to. It's the first one, and it's the one I keep getting drawn back to. Now, like I said, it was a bigger one and then it was the smaller ones. And it looks a bit more like a bay or a quarry rather than a lake. But this is really where I would be. There's something around this. And that's why I'm going to delete these and go back and see to make sure that it was this that I was looking at. Maybe in the 2 days Google updated, and so it looks a bit different. But it was very much something similar to that, and above it was these separate ones, and that's why I'm just wondering. But we're going to keep going with the markers. So I'm instantly drawn to that. Okay, now if there's cell tower or anything, we're going to get to that. That's a big clue, I think. Where there's like a diversion or a turning in the road or something is also something. And then I want to go further. All right, so I'll go further. I go towards Marshdale. So that's Marshdale Cemetery. Okay. There's a park here, not in the park. This is the one that I tried to delete. It's in the dense wood. I don't feel they're there. This could be of interest, and this could be of interest. So somewhere, look, this is where they live. These are the elements that I'm saying is very much of interest. And then if we go into this one, Lawn Station Road, what did I find here? I'm not really sure why I found that of interest. But it must have felt like of an area of interest. Right now, it's not so much. There's something, probably something around there. I don't know if I marked, like I said, I didn't mark Marshdale. I just, as an area of interest, maybe just to get me into this area again. Like if I look at this right now and I were to say where would be the most interesting area here, it would be here for me. I don't know what that is. That would be the most interesting area out of all of what I've just seen. Hopewell, Lawn Station Road. But there's something around here, but it's what I'm getting is here. So let's go back. There is somewhere in here that I was Marshdale. See, again, I'm drawn to this. This is where the one, yeah, so more so here and here was what I was initially drawn to. So let's just go to these two. Let me zoom in. This is of interest to me. I don't know what that is. That is of interest to me. And that's how the other one looked. A big one and two small ones. That was nearer to the home. But this very much, this area is of interest to me. This area, okay? This, I've only pinpointed it here, so that once I see this pinpoint and I zoom in, I can see that this is the area of interest. We can zone in a bit more if you want. It's Hopewell, Nova Scotia. We have a curve in the road. We've got a road that goes in. Actually, it makes sense why I'm not getting them in the dense wood, because they wouldn't be able to get a car in the dense wood. They'd have to park on the side and then kind of get them in the wood. But if you look, it's not far from home. I'll tell you why in a moment. So go up to White Hill again. Very much, look, this is where we was. No, if we look at the northeast, this is like 1.1, 1.2 further out, White Hill. So let's just zoom into that and see what I was drawn to there. Unless it's just, yeah, so not the dense wood. It's not the dense wood that I'd be looking at. It's not the dense wood that I'd be looking at. It's the areas like I mentioned, like this one. This one's of interest. That could be of interest as well to me. Okay. Not in there. Okay. That's the Marshdale that I tried to delete, and that's just a pinpoint. Now, if I go further out, northeast, we see that these were two potentials that I don't think someone said. Either a subscriber feels that this could be a potential and this could be a potential, or they've heard it from someone else. This is like 41 minutes away. If you look at what I'm looking at and where their home is, which is, it's very much closer. It's much closer, look. So I think I think they've looked at lakes. Now, if I want to expand this a bit, we've looked at Lawn Station. I told you I'm interested in more in that one there. If I wanted, if we were to go south, I'd be looking at these possible areas south. But again, what I'm telling you is I'm drawn to closer to the northeast, but these are potential areas. So we've got this one, which I just want to make sure it's one that I've actually, yeah, so something like this again would be very much of interest. It's Dryden Lake Road, okay? And then we go, there was another one here again, Dryden Lake. So near the lake, possibly near a lake. Now, if we look at the places that I've been attracted to before, it's like a bay or a quarry or something. Again, here, look, this is of interest to me. This area is interest to me. Okay, this area, Dryden Lake Road here. Obviously, that's a lake, but you could look at some places here. Again, it seems like they're not that well hidden. Now, if I were to say, let's go west a little bit, what attracted me here was there was Gordon Summit and there was kind of like tracks, and I don't know if it's railway tracks that are going into it. So if you wanted to look west, I would look at that Gordon. Let's look here. I think it was this one. See, something like this would be of interest as well to me. But I just want to see here, is this where the tracks, is this tracks? So something like that. And then I've got this one here. Again, can you see a bit of a bay? I don't know, what is this? What is that? That's strange. I don't know what that is. What is that? Let's see if we can look at it this way. Just needs a moment to load. Oh, the dog. See if we can see any roads here. Terrain. So yeah, can you see there? There must be like a, not a proper road, maybe it's like a man-made one. We go here, there's something about this as well, this area here, which is, you know, that I can draw it up, I can put it in the comments. Something like that out of the west would be of interest. And Gordon Summit here, where the tracks are, is of interest if we look at west. This one, I'll zoom in. Again, can you see what things I'm attracted to? If it were to be west, we have Gordon Summit where the tracks are, and we've got these little markers, these two in particular, and this is where they are. Can you remember, this is where I'm drawn to these kind of stuff. I want to just zoom in to check if that's like the bay that I saw, although I think it's the bay I saw is the one that is this, but it must be updated or something. But I'm very much interested in these two. I don't know if they've been searched. Where was that? See that one? What's that? But yeah, I keep coming back to somewhere here. Let me just check the Marshdale. Still see I've got a feel for it. Still Marshdale around this one. Remember, this was just a pointer if there's any curves, but maybe here this one is just to point that I was at Marshdale. possibly something here, but I'd really look at this and these little points where I've outlined, and the one that's a bit south, I think, okay, are really what's standing out to me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to see if I can pull some cards. Like I said, this was done on the whim. I don't feel it's the park, by the way. I feel it's the point near here, Marshdale, basically. I don't know how big it is very much of interest. So if I just, for example, take this, because I'm sure I said it's like 1 point something, they're not far what I'm talking about. We go to this one and we go here, and directions, starting point, let's put that in. So this is how I had it. I had it all like, it really annoys me because I even had the two. Just giving it a moment. It seems to be a bit slow for some reason. I'll just pause while it loads. So it took forever to load. It's basically, we're looking at between 650, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. The areas I'm getting is not far at all. I don't know why I've got a green flag here. Maybe we should zoom in. Maybe that's spirit. Oh, it's their home. Maybe that's spirit. That's interesting, isn't it? Maybe that's spirit. That's where they lost their lives. So let me pull some cards. Again, like I said, I'm going to delete all this saved I want to go, and I'm going to dive in and see where I am drawn to again. Did I highlight this? This could be another one that I pull up, but I'd really go towards the two that I showed here that way and the possibilities. And I've really pinpointed places, so it's not like I've done each one's like 8 miles, 5 miles out. I don't know where they've searched. I think I remember at the beginning they were searching towards, they searched a lake, didn't they? Did they take cadaver dogs? I think they searched in the woods themselves. Where there's a cell tower and where there's some kind of diversion or curb. Can you remember I said about circling? Like there was a cement also. If this a cement, that's a bit of a circling, even a circling on the ground or something, that could be a key. Where there's a cell tower could be a double confirmation, basically. And it could be that they're right on the edge, or it could be that they're a little bit inside of the places of where I've said. So let's get into some cards. So having said that, I'm going to get into some cards. I will also maybe tap in properly, because we know we need to tap into stuff properly. Thought the dog was here. This essence is like overpowering right now. Okay. So I'm getting a confirmation that there is north, okay? I'm getting a confirmation that there's east. I'm getting a very strong confirmation towards north, okay? So if the house is here, something that's that close is north, right? Northeast. So we've got double confirmation that it's north. We've got a confirmation nearly double, because more than one card came out, that it's east. Oh, I'm getting, yeah, I'm getting, there could be this spot in the south, but it's in reverse, so not as strong. To the west, I get a confirmation as well. So I think I would look at those areas that I've mentioned. I've had a major arcana in every single one, and towards the west I get the DEATH card, but I get double confirmation if you move slightly north. And I have pinpointed something towards the south, something towards the west, but let's see what Spirit says in terms of, oh, my stomach hurts, I feel really sick. I'm also a bit not interpreting the cards that I'm getting, which probably could be better. I get a very strong confirmation that they are either in those two areas that I mentioned, northeast. I get a strong confirmation of Marshdale area, northeast again. I get Gordon Summit. And the south, what was it down south? Was it Dryden Lake? I know that was one of the places, but south. Yeah. Spirit is giving me confirmation on the areas that I've mentioned. I do get very strong confirmation on those areas that I mentioned nearby. I'm going to have to stop this here because I feel sick and my stomach's starting to hurt. But like I said, I will look at the mapping again and I'll do another one. That was just very much off the whim. And you really need to tap in. But I do feel drawn to those particular specific areas that I mentioned. I hope this helps. There was something I wanted to say about Emmanuel. I might cover it in another read because I don't know what's just happened. So I hope this is helpful. Maybe some of you can say they've searched, they haven't searched. Are those areas you're allowed to search? Because it's not in dense woods, so you should be able to search. But I'd be interested in, like, are those little bays or quarries, or what are they exactly? That yeah, I'm gonna log off, guys. I hope you're all well. I hope this helps. I'll try to get it out in the same evening. I can't promise though, because I think it's already 11 UK time. Yeah, it's already 11. Bit of a night owl, but yeah, take care. Bye for now.